There we go. Straight up will climb. When you get one of these rookies from the rookie showcase, everything pans out, right? London wins the championship. Easily, you can track back to the rookie showcase. Clyde Blue Kelly was MVP. JoJo Doman was an MVP. Ivan Pace Jr. was a beast. So when we look at the rookie showcase, get the player you want in the first round. Get a starter in the first round. Second round are for, that marginal starter where it's a quality backup quarterback or a starting right tackle or, maybe a kick returner, maybe a kicker or punter. Go out and get that guy in the second round. When you can get starters for the rookie minimum for 3 years, you got to make that happen. We talk about dreams here. We had Tulsa this week trade up from 4 to number 1. Gave up a second-team All-AFA left guard in T.J. Bass, formerly of Oregon. He moves on to Memphis. And from everything we hear, this trade is for Kyle McCord from Syracuse. He looked real good on day 1. They had 4 drives, 3 of them they scored on. The 4th one, the kid fumbled on the 1-inch line. So it looks like Tulsa has fallen in love with Kyle McCord, and that's where the dream starts. It looks like they're trading up to number 1 to grab him. Number 2, we got Birmingham is going to be drafting second, then San Antonio at 3, and then Memphis at 4. But this program is everybody has now played at least one of the scrimmages. They're half-game scrimmages, of course. Everything under balance. Things start getting a little more aggressive. The playbooks change. The coaching profile changes. We're talking about taking the guys who shined in week 1 or scrimmage 1 and scrimmage 2, putting them together. The left tackle. This kid here, Lichthenhan. This kid out of Oregon State. He had 13 pancakes the other day, but I think he was playing against a couple of Girl Scouts. Holland Pierce has got a little more overall than him. They're at 83. That kid out of, I believe, Rutgers. Yep, Rutgers. He's 341 pounds. It's a $10 bus ride to get around that kid. He reminds me of Kadeem Telford more than anybody. But this Lickenthon, he's going to go up tomorrow morning against Joyner on the other side. Was it Joyner who's playing right DN for Long John? No, is one of his teammates. So for the Planks, he'll be going up against Elijah Ponder, 251 pounds. So Lickenthon's got 60 pounds on him, but Ponder, man, he's got that quickness, 91 acceleration, 76 speed. So we start seeing 1s and 2s and who's shining and who's not. So I'm going to go back to Milky Way, the proud sponsor of what is potentially the rest of the country. Kyle McCord out of Syracuse. Max Bromer did not look that good. Ethan Garbers looked real good this morning, but those were against 3s. So you have to take that with a grain of salt. Donovan Edwards looked real good. He'll get the start for Milky Way tomorrow. Which is Thursday, scrimmage 4. Corey Kinner went for like $121 and a touchdown. Had 1 or 2 costly fumbles. Jackson had a fumble today. Jaquindon Jackson, he's probably the third on this team. I think people want to see what Donovan Edwards can do to see if he is a first-round talent or not. Fullback, this kid out of Utah, he's the real deal. I wouldn't have any problem getting this kid. 75 acceleration. The fullback's got to be able to get out of the backfield and get to that first block. Andrew Armstrong and Isaiah Nader are going to get the starts tomorrow. Both have had really good, solid weeks or scrimmages. Nick Nash, who's assumed that third role for tomorrow, he has had a really big week too. And then you got Henderson and Delina. Henderson had a nice touchdown catch this morning, again against 3s. Delina probably more of a kick return, punt return guy. Anthony Torres gets the start. He's had like 6, 7 catches over the last 2 days. Want to see if he can play. Converse looked good in scrimmage one, but again, is this Anthony Torres for real? We're going to get a real good look at him. 6'7", 251. He gets up, catches the ball, comes back down with it. Hasn't really had much yards after catch, but we'll see where he is. Left tackle, Holland Pierce, I think he's a first rounder for sure. Might be a top 12. But we're going to take a look at this kid from Oregon State and see tomorrow what he looks like against Ponder. If Ponder gets the better of him, then he's probably not a first rounder. Huber and Johnson, two really nice left guards out there. I would be happy with either one of them. I know Trey Weedig has been showing up on some chats. I think he's more of a backup. He's a right tackle, but either way, I do think he's a backup anyways. Moving over to center, McLaughlin has been fine. Hartwig has been fine too. Definitely, the Buckeye is going to be a first rounder. Luke Kandra at right guard for Cincinnati, think he's a first rounder for sure. Marcus Weir, the kid out of Montana State. He's probably a low-end backup, high-quality a low-end starter, high-quality backup at right guard. You might be able to get away with him starting depending on who you have at right tackle protecting the outside of him. I really like this Josh Fryer guy. He looked great in scrimmage one, and we'll get another look at him tomorrow. I think he's got first-round talent for sure. Batty had a great day one or scrimmage one, and I think he's got first round talent. He certainly was productive. We'll see how he finishes up the week. Carlton, this kid had a really good day today playing against threes. That 59 overall probably pushes him to the 4th, 5th, or undrafted phase of Sunday's rookie draft. Jaw Joyner looks real good, getting off the line real quick. He's 262. He's one of the bigger right ends, so he's got a shot. I think he's a top 12 pick. Not sure about this Steve Linton. I haven't seen him do anything, so I don't know. I like Howard Cross and Horsley. They're both really solid D tackles. I think both of them will be starters, more of a D tackle 2 instead of a D tackle 1 like Stackhouse, who we'll get to in a second. But I think they're definitely D tackle 2 material and could be, both of them could be drafted in the back half of the first round. Linebacker, you got Jalen Walker. Powell had a great scrimmage one, but we've seen Jalen Walker, and people want to see him go up against some ones. So we're going to see him go up against ones tomorrow. Powell, though, is probably the safer pick. Higgins has been huge. There's a big story out there, Toronto sending up the smoke screen with Higgins. Is that who they're looking at? He might not even make it that far. I think this kid could literally go anywhere in the top 6. He's gonna answer a lot of questions for a lot of teams' defenses. Turning over to the Will linebacker. Kareem Reed. He didn't do anything in the first game, so but neither did French or Wise. They haven't done anything, so we want to see what this Reed kid does. At corner, Mello and Tommy get the start. Kobe Bryant got torched the other day by Badger, so Manning had a good day, and I think we're going to see Manning start Friday. He had an interception on the goal line today, very big play. But Dodson Hill, they want to see how they play over Bryant. Looks like he's fallen down some draft boards. Danico Slaughter, O.J. Burroughs. O.J. Burroughs has got injury issues, so Slaughter is the better of the two talents. At strong safety, Maxim Hook and Sebastian Castro these are two very quality, strong safeties. I think they both will go in the first round. There is another kid out there who I believe will go in the first round as well, or could go in the first round. If not, somebody's going to get some true value in the second round just due to the number of players. Ben Sauls has been very solid. I think he's starting kicker in this league, and I think you'll see him go in probably in the early third round. Zaplicki is I've seen him shank a couple of punts, so I'm not real high on him. Not sure who the better kick returner. Henderson averaged 28 yards kick return the other day. He gets to start tomorrow. Of course, Saturday's the big game, and that's when everybody's going to really be paying attention. Delina, he'll return punts tomorrow. We'll see if he can get on a squad as a return man. And then Donovan Edwards is going to have the third down back role and be the starter. So we'll see if he can handle that and see if he can climb draft boards. There's a lot of teams that need running backs, and he just he didn't do it. Raheem Sanders actually probably looked better thus far. Ugalele, this kid, he's got the big arm. He can throw the ball a mile. But he's not as accurate, doesn't read defenses. Brady Cook came in the other day, and he was sub 50% on his completions, but he did have 2 touchdown passes. Woolridge looked the best out of the 3, but he was playing against 3s, so I would have expected him to look the best. Ugalele is going to get another shot at it tomorrow. We'll see how he does. Sanders gets the start. Bentley looked good today, but he also had a couple of fumbles yesterday. Montrell Johnson, he has done nothing yet. So he's a big back. We're going to want to keep an eye on him. Fullback, this Calhoun guy, he's somebody's going to get a nice fullback probably in the second or third round with this kid. The other kid out of Utah might be a smidge better. Badger gets the start tomorrow. He burned Kobe Bryant a couple times the other day. Badger's got injury issues, so you got to keep your eyes open on that. Ja'Cory Brooks, a bit of a malcontent, but he had a touchdown catch the other day on a slant route. Looked real good. Bond is going to be third. He just hasn't done anything yet. Fourth is Restrepo. Felton is fifth. He had a nice touchdown catch today and yesterday. He's definitely climbing draft boards, and we'll get a better look at him on Friday and maybe even on Saturday. Brenning Stoll, he looked good on day one. Neither one of these other tight ends distinguished themselves in the last 2 days. Jordan Williams at left tackle, 322 pounds. We'll see if he can do any damage or hold off Ja Joyner. That'd be a nice matchup. You got Marcus Cox has looked good. He might be a low-end back starter, maybe a high-end backup at left tackle. Maybe draft him and move him to left guard or right tackle. Who knows? Tate, very interested to see how things play out with Tate. Clay Webb, certainly starting material there as well. I like both of those kids. I think Tate might have an issue with injuries. I don't remember 100%. I know Jake Majors is everybody's favorite out of all the centers. If you need a center, there's probably 4 starters in this draft between these two and the 2 on Milky Way. So if you need a start, I think somebody's going to get a starting center early in the second round too. But there's 4 first-round talents, if you ask me, at center. This Tercelli Simpkins out of South Carolina, he's probably the best at what's there. I don't know if there's a whole lot else out there, but certainly he's the best of all the right guards. So, or actually, Kandra might be better. Yeah, Kandra for Milky Way is a little better. This kid, though, probably can start in the AFA. Looking over at right tackle, Xavier Truss, hell of a run blocker. Not sure if he gets it done with the pass blocking. Very, very, very strong. 6'7", 319. I think you'll somebody will fall in love with him in the first round. Excuse me. Amari Kite out of Central Florida. I think he's going to be a quality backup right tackle. Sometimes it's hard to find starting right tackle, so he might end up getting a job somewhere. Jared Ivey, all eyes on him tomorrow as he tries to get to Kyle McCord. He's got to go through the right tackle for Milky Way. Who did I say that was? Sorry, guys. This is hopefully, he's got to go through Fryer. Fryer didn't let him hit the quarterback the other day, so we'll see how that matchup goes tomorrow. We'll probably see that matchup again on Saturday in the big game. Darius Van out of NC State, Davin Van. I think we're going to have to take a healthy look at him. Switching over to D tackle, this is where, well, first I guess we got to do right end. Elijah Ponder is going to go up against Lichten Hahn. We'll see who wins that battle. Ponder could climb some draft boards based on that 91 acceleration, but at 251, we've seen this story play out multiple times, and it has not been favorable for the smaller right end. A lot of times they just don't get around the left tackle, so we'll keep an eye on that. D tackle surprise here, Thor Griffith. 2 blocks in the last 2 games. He's going to get the start next to Stackhouse from Georgia. Everybody's talking about Stackhouse. I think the kid could go in the top 4 or 5. I think Stackhouse has that kind of ability. Had he been in last year's draft, would he have gone in front of Lawrence Taylor? Probably not, but he probably would have gone somewhere between Gabe Hall went second, Lovett went third. I think this kid would have gone somewhere in there. He has that kind of talent. Everybody's rooting for this kid, Thor. He's been awesome to be around. Very high energy guy. Everybody really, really likes him. Desmond Watson, he's the loser in this deal. 464 pounds. But Thor outplayed him so far, so we'll have to see how that works out. Chandler Martin gets the start. He probably had the better week so far, but none of these 3 have really stood out. Inside linebacker, Power Eccles gets the start over Dumas Johnson. Power Eccles had, 9 tackles the other day. Looked real good. We're going to see if he can handle playing the ones. Asante gets a start here. Still interested in seeing what he does tomorrow. He does remind me kind of Earl or Eric Stryker, who played a long time in Hawaii. He seems like that kind of kid, with athleticism. So very interesting seeing how he plays the rest of the week. Zy Alexander, a lot of people like this kid. He's got real good acceleration and speed. So Glendon Miller, the kid out of Maryland, I believe, right? Yep, he fell down some draft boards this week. He got burned a couple times. And the coaches with Long John Silver's are going to go with Cypress here as the starter. See how that works out. If you go down even further, Huzzy has had a great week. Johnson Jr., he got beat like eggs this morning. Free safety, J.J. Roberts, he got hurt in scrimmage 1. Kaufman hasn't done much since, but it looks like we're going to see a heavy dose of Roberts the rest of the way. Take notice, Major Burns overall is a 69, not a 96. Him and Washington, they haven't done anything. Kyle McCord has picked that secondary apart. Fitzgerald hasn't done anything to not consider him still a first-round pick. How high he goes, I don't know. But, he's pretty automatic. So he could go in the top 12 for sure. Burnip has shanked a couple of punts. I don't think either one of these punters has endeared themselves. Badger and Restrepo are going to get the starts. Oh, no, Badger gets the start at kick returner. And then Badger will also return punts. He's been the better of the 2 at both of those so far. Restrepo did have 2 nice catches today that San Antonio can't stop talking about. Montrell Johnson Jr. Will be your third down back. Sanders is going to start the game as your running back. So, again, we're going to see some offenses open up. We'll see if McCord maybe if he can play at West Coast tomorrow, we're going to take a look at that. And take a look at a bunch of these players. Real quick, I think we've been super excited about some of the players today and what they look like. So, and this week and just how this week is played out. So, super excited about seeing the rookie showcase game on Saturday. Hey, thanks for joining the AFA Rookie Showcase preview. Do you have a moment?
I do, yes.
So I just went through and talked about all of the players for both teams. Just wanted to see if you want to share some risers and fallers in your opinion. Welcome to the show, General Manager Noah Grove.
Excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So who you got climbing and who you got falling?
I think from just looking at guys and how they're playing in these scrimmages, a guy who's I've been really interested in, a couple of offensive linemen and defensive linemen. The trenches are where the game's won. I've really liked left guard Cameron Johnson. Not quite sure where he went to school. And same side of the ball, left tackle Gerard Lichtenhand had a huge game. 12 pancakes in just one half scrimmage.
Yeah, I talked about both of those. I like the Johnson kid, and left guard is usually a tough position to find a player. I think the other kid is slightly better on his team. There's another left guard on his team. He might be slightly better, but the Johnson kid is exciting. Lichtenhahn will play tomorrow against Elijah Ponder, the kid out of Cal Poly. So I don't expect 13 pancakes. I think he was going up against a guy who probably is likely slated for the ADFL. So I thought that was a mismatch. I didn't buy into it too much, but other GMs may.
On the other side of the ball, the one guy or two guys who I'll mention have looked really good. Sticking with the trenches, defensive tackle Thor Griffith. I don't think he was on anyone's radar, but he's had a sack in TFL in 3 games. I think he's only started 1.
He's had 2 blocked shots, won each of the last 2 games, and it was good enough. Excuse me. It was good enough for him to get the start tomorrow next to Stackhouse, outplaying Watson. So he's got a shot here to really prove himself, and I think he could be a D tackle number 2 somewhere if if they have one of those like all pro D tackle number 1s. I think he would thrive in a situation like that. But watching him get up and knock passes down was really exciting because he did it. He did it twice.
He has really good fundamental skills. I really like his tackling ability. I think he could be a number 2 on many teams in the league.
Yeah. Who was the other defensive player?
I really liked the film that Jaw Joyner has put together so far. He's had a couple quarterback hits. I think he's had at least 1 TFL. He just looks fast on film. He has great play speed. And, that's sometimes all you can ask for from an edge rusher.
Right. He goes up tomorrow. Jaw Joyner's going up tomorrow. He plays that right DN. He's going up against Jordan Williams out Georgia Tech, 322. The thing about Joyner that I will give you is at 265, he's got a little more girth than Ponder and some of these smaller right ends. So that extra 10 pounds can actually, it feels like it makes a difference. I know, from in the past, I like to get up over 260 at right D end, and he has that. So he's a first round talent. I just don't know if he's a top 10 or if he's a legitimate, somewhere between 15 and 22,
I think he has a chance to play his way into the top 10.
He'll have to outdo Jordan Williams tomorrow because this kid is probably a a bottom level starting left tackle. That's my opinion. I don't know if you're high on Jordan Williams, but I think he's probably, like the 23rd, 24th best left tackle.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of notes on Jordan Williams. Left tackle is not really a position I've looked at too much.
Yeah. And then, one of the guys I went into this week was Asante. I wanted to see how he played this week, and we got one game out of him, and I didn't see anything out of him. I think he's an Eric Stryker type, but more importantly, I think he's got tomorrow and he's got Saturday, so I think that kid's gonna have to do something to climb the boards.
I think he had some good tape. There was one play in particular where they came out in base 4-3. Offense came out in 11 personnel. They had to slide him over onto the slot wide receiver, and he pancaked that guy and tackled the running back in the backfield. I think it was a joint TFL that I believe they ended up giving it to Elijah Ponder instead.
Yeah. So another kid that you were high on was Brenning Stoll, and he looked really good. We only saw one scrimmage out of him. But this kid, Anthony Torres out of Toledo, 6'7", 251, he's been unstoppable. And it does seem like the tight ends are just so big and unstoppable right now. I'm very interested to see if GMs start trying to find bigger corners and safeties over speed and athleticism, especially when most speed and athleticism guys that make it to the AFA are 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", and these tight ends are going 6'7". I mean, they're going to catch the ball every single time. So, this Torres kid, I think it's worth going back and watching the tape on him. I think you'll like him. The Converse kid, Torres gets the start tomorrow, but Converse had just as good of a scrimmage one. He had the very first touchdown of the week. And when, the whole Kyle McCord trading up and Tossa, any comments on what you saw Tossa jumping up to number one after watching McCord play?
I know that there's been a very mixed reception to the trade. Personally, I think it's a great decision. I think that Tulsa's in a really good spot to ride out the Kaiser contract for one more year, get out from under it, sit on their hands a little bit, have a ton of money in McCord's sophomore season to go after some playmakers and an offensive line to protect him. And if they stick to that plan, I think they're money in the back end of his rookie deal. But I don't know. I'd also like to see a couple more games from him as well.
Yeah, I think I agree with everything you just said. But I do think he's got to do it again tomorrow, and he's got to do it definitely on Saturday. That's where everybody makes their money. It's kind of like talking about these, pre-derby races, but when it comes to the big one is Saturday. And even if you've done nothing all week, if you're the best guy on the field Saturday, nothing else mattered all week. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see what he does tomorrow and then again on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think both teams have a good, solid crop of playmakers too. I've been really impressed by the offensive lines for both teams. Even the 2s and 3s have come in and looked pretty solid. I'm a little disappointed at the defensive side of the ball. I think that there's a lack of quality secondary members. I know that a lot of guys had a couple safeties that they were high on, and I haven't seen any of them play their way up draft boards, honestly.
Yeah. Let me ask you this before we close you out. I'm gonna ask you 4 players, and all I need is a yes or a no. Will they be drafted in the first round? Ready?
Yes.
DJ Ugalele.
No.
Raheem Sanders.
Yes.
Xavier Restrepo.
Shouldn't, but will.
I'm just asking if they're going to be, if you think they'll be drafted in the first round, not whether they should be or not. Do you think they'll be drafted in the first round?
Yes.
Thor Griffith.
No.
Oh, all right. One more. Lichten Han.
Ooh. No, because there's a lot of tackles.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything about his play. I think he's been fantastic, and he has a chance to play his way up boards, but there's a lot of good tackles.
Yeah. There's a lot of really good offensive linemen. And I think some people have thought this draft isn't that good. But there's literally, in my humble opinion, there's like 13 starting offensive linemen in this draft. And so maybe it's just not sexy enough for enough people. I mean, there's two tackles that aren't even here this week that could go the first two tackles off the board, and that's Logan Brown and Caleb Etienne.
Yeah,
they're not even here.
Really good.
Yeah, they're not even here, and they could be the first two tackles off the board. So, all right, well, listen, thanks for joining the show, and we good luck on Sunday. I'm thinking a lot of people are getting excited about it.
Thank you. We'll need it.
All right, take care.
Take care.
So there you go. That's San Antonio GM Noah Grove and some of his thoughts. And so I thought it'd be interesting to share that with you. That's what dreams are made of, baby. So baby, close your eyes.